Hello, this is Grant from the All Night Gamers podcast. I'd like to take a quick moment to remind all of our listeners to make sure that you are registered to vote. If you do not know and would like to check, please go to vote.org and make sure you are registered to vote. We are coming very close to this upcoming election, and we want to make sure that everybody participates for the health of this nation. Thank you. Hello and welcome to the All Night Gamers podcast. It's a whole nother mess of all sorts of stuff this week. Don't really know where to start, but we've got a whole kind of melting pot of all video game news to go through. Dreamcast Mini possibility, a bunch of new PlayStation updates, some more PS5 news, some more news from the Nintendo Treehouse that was this week. We're going to talk about some spooky games for Halloween coming up. A whole mess of tidbits of all random things, and closing out with some Joy-Con news and Steve dropping in Smash. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I am joined by the usual crew, Alex, Cameron, and Cooper.
Hello. Happy Halloween.
2 weeks early.
Hey,
they might be listening to it 2 weeks out.
I mean, really,
We're in October.
This entire month is Halloween.
Yeah, that's how I consider it.
Disney says it starts in August.
Well, alrighty. So let's dive into the news. So there's been a lot of rumors going around of Sega possibly considering a Dreamcast Mini as a new mini console. As I'm sure everyone knows, they released the Genesis Mini last year, and it was really the only one that could compete with the Nintendo mini consoles in my eyes. It's very, very high quality, a lot of love put into it. The game list is a great encapsulation of the Genesis, and is in the same league as the NES and SNES Mini to me. It beats out the other stuff just like the Nintendo ones did. So,
Let's be fair here. Sony didn't have a lot to offer with the PlayStation Mini.
Yeah, hey, I'm not saying it was hard.
Be fair to Sony, they had
No.
the original version of Persona 1 dubbed by 4Kids on there.
Let's go.
No, let's not. It's 4Kids dubs.
Exactly.
You should have gotten it for $15 so you could have played
There's
that.
a reason that on the PSP it got redubbed by Atlas West for ours.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, the proof is in the pudding because the Dreamcast Mini, the Genesis Mini, forgive me, even though it's not its full price anymore, it's still not like clearance price. It's like $40-$50.
Nintendo's
still.
both disappeared. PlayStation's sat around for a long time, but it dropped enough that people were willing to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it disappeared because it was, $15 to $30 with
Should have bought it when I saw it was
6
15
months.
though.
Yeah, I saw it. That's when I got mine. I said $15. So shoot. Yeah. All right. I'll buy it then. But yeah, it's the only one that is actually of high quality besides the Nintendo ones. So I would super dig a Dreamcast Mini.
There was another.
You go ahead.
There was another thing on that Famitsu article though, because it's kind of it's not really a rumor. It's more the head was hinting at doing it, but it wasn't just a Dreamcast. It was some other Sega product
he mentioned
they done
the console they did before the Master System.
Ooh.
So like a really old console, but I doubt that's what they would go with because not a lot of people know about that. Even I didn't until I heard about it and had to do some research on it. But the Dreamcast, it's just kind of like a cult classic console. Like, if you know, you know. It was really good. So I would totally be down for a mini console. Is it
still really good? That's up to you, dear listeners.
Well, I mean, at the very least, you got, Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio? Or Jet Grind Radio? The original version of Sonic Adventure was on there too.
Mhm.
Original of wasn't 2 also on there?
Yes.
Okay. And then the GameCube had that.
Battle mode.
Been a while since I've looked up what was on the Dreamcast.
It'd be really cool if they kept if they put a screen in the controller to emulate like the VMU screen from the original. I know
That'd
they
be
wouldn't
cool.
remake the whole VMU thing, but to have a little tiny LCD screen in there or something, just to make it like the old days, that would be incredible. I would buy that full price.
Dude, imagine if Nintendo did a GameCube Mini and a Game Boy Mini and made them work together, or even N64 and Game Boy.
They already have a Game Boy Mini. Keep up, Cameron. It was created like
Not the
over a
micro.
decade. Yeah, the micro.
Not the micro.
No, because the Game Boy Micro doesn't have all the games built in. You still have to have the cartridges.
Don't see them doing.
And plus, like a Game Boy Mini, it's already small.
right?
Game Boy Macro.
It's just time to put the game. It's time for a Game Boy
Ultimate
online.
Mix.
No, online on the Switch,
Dude, they
so
haven't,
that I can
they
play
haven't even
certain
finished the
games.
other ones though.
Eh. Well, the Earthbound ones confuse me. That one drives me insane because I'm like, okay, why are they not releasing them here? And it's not like they can't. They did it on the
Wii U, yes.
and 3DS for at least
Did they
beginnings.
port? No. No, they ported
might have that
Earthbound.
backwards.
They ported
To
Earthbound.
the-
I think Beginnings
to the
might
new
have
3DS.
Yeah,
Yes.
Beginnings is on there as well.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Wow.
because that was like as soon as I learned that, I bought it because that's like the first time it was ever been released here. Right?
Yeah. It was
Yeah, it
on.
was first
it was
released on the Wii U.
Wii Virtual.
But
yeah.
at the same, not at the same, at the same time as the Lucas Amiibo, Nintendo Japan released the Mother 3 for the Japanese Wii U.
Yeah.
Because of course I know that.
Anyway, it's just very interesting to me that they have. We know that they can do them, and then neither one is on our onlines. It's not on the NES, and it's not on the SNES online.
Guys, it has been like 5 minutes, and we already went from Dreamcast Mini to is Earthbound Beginnings on the Wii U eShop.
I mean, yes.
It
Wait,
Confirmed.
Oh my goodness.
This is.
I mean, if you want interest,
good
we
episode.
all know like a lot of crazy facts, like how it was either Earthbound or Earthbound Beginnings that sold out digitally.
It was
on the
Earthbound.
yeah,
Earthbound?
on the eShop.
Wait,
No, it
what?
wasn't on the eShop. It was their free code. They sold out of free digital codes.
Sold out. They were tired of
Sold
giving
out.
away free money.
Yeah.
I said that's enough free money. We want some of that now.
That's why they cut the physical game reward. Or no, it was digital game rewards. But so it was digital games for your physical games. They cut that. But at least they're bringing back rewards.
That's true. That's true.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, hey, my Dodo Airlines bag coming in the day this podcast comes out episode. So, you know
Your
what I've been
pins
doing.
have shipped and mine have not. I am quite jealous.
Okay. I checked again today. USPS still says they're awaiting the package. It's been like 4 days. And I get the weekend was in there. But I thought for sure by today, by like end of business today, they would have it. No. Still awaiting the
Oh.
package.
Hopefully that means that one. Maybe that just means they don't have it yet.
That's exactly what they mean. I don't know how.
No, not
But-
UPS, Nintendo, or their warehouse centers. Like maybe that means they don't have it to ship out yet.
Well, then how do I already have a tracking number? That means they packed it and printed the label.
Wait,
Nobody knows, but we should probably move on since we have a lot to cover.
Okay, fine. I won't rant more about that. Fine. I'm glad. Alex is really good at making himself laugh.
He really is.
Somebody has to.
All right. PlayStation's trophy system has been overhauled.
Yeah.
I've seen the posts all about it, and people saying like their stats are like way better looking now than they used to be. But I still really don't understand how it works.
I don't see a difference. Besides that, I was like level 12, and now I'm level 200 something.
Yeah, it just seems like your trophies do a lot more for your level now, I guess.
Oh, and they overhauled the big overhaul was they now have like Microsoft's thing where it's like, oh, you're like this percentage of the way through the trophy. So if you have to do like 100 kills, it will be, and you've done 90, it will be like you're 90% of the way through to get this trophy.
Well, yeah, so that's the thing. Pretty arbitrary, IMO, but it's a thing that exists, and it happened.
We don't really have
That's
much
all I've
comment
got.
on
That's all I've got.
achievement
Yeah.
systems.
Speaking of Sony stuff, they've also are deciding to update the PlayStation Store on websites and the app on mobile. So you will no longer be able to buy PS3, PSP, or PS Vita games, and instead you must buy them on the console that you have if you want them.
Unless you're a PSP owner. But you should have
Man.
known years ago they shut down that store.
Yeah. So if if you want PS3 games or PS Vita games, you have to go, or PSP games available through one of those other platforms, you have to buy it on the specific console store now.
Man, dude, I think a lot of my points expired.
And this will be in effect on October 19th and for the website and the 28th for the app. So heads up if you really don't want to deal with the stores, which I understand.
This coming Monday.
Yeah, is PS3's store is so bad. They broke it so terribly.
Ooh. And for a chance to win $100 gift card. Crazy.
No, we mentioned the rewards. Now Cooper's going to check his rewards.
I haven't logged in a while. I think some points expired. Sad.
Yeah, that dodo bag got me to download Pocket Camp and do one little thing so I could get like plus 600 coins so I could get the bag because I really wanted that bag. I have no interest in playing it whatsoever, but I mean, if they're gonna give me a free dodo bag,
they've
for
had
trying
some
it.
cool events.
Oh.
Did I play any of them? No, because I don't play Pocket Camp. Because I played it for a while and I wasn't having any fun.
Wait, do you get this in the game or do you get? There's a leaf bandana. Download code. Oh, I think in game. No, wait, because it has pictures of outside.
All right, Cooper, you can look at your present. What you want later? We've got.
We got a show to run.
Can't even figure out the leaf bandana.
Is this a bandana? Is this real life? Real life?
All right,
I'm
rolling on with the PlayStation stuff. So, Sony has actually finally told everyone the down low on the backwards compatibility situation of PS4 games on PlayStation 5. They were right that the vast majority of games will be playable. There's only 10 specific PS4 games that are not compatible with the PS5. None of them really matter. So that's a good thing. It's all just kind of games. But there are a specific 10 list what they set. DWVR, what is DW?
I have no clue.
Well, DWVR, Afro Samurai 2 Revenge of the Kuma Volume 1, TT Isle of Man, Rise on the Edge 2, Just Deal With It, ! Shadow Complex Remastered, Robinson the Journey, We Sing, Hitman Go Definitive Edition, Shadwin, and Joe's Diner. Oh man, don't say Joe's Diner. I can't play Joe's Diner on PS5.
No, bye.
Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?
Play something better.
But yeah, I'm so happy when this news came out to see that it's just a bunch of crap games that not a lot of people really care about. Um,
There's gonna be that one hater that loves Joe's died.
yeah, this one
No,
guy
I
like,
think
what are you
someone's
talking
gonna.
about? We sing's amazing.
I think what someone's gonna get mad at him is Hitman Go. I think that
Oh,
was the one
yeah.
people were kind of upset about on when I saw it, which
Okay.
I don't get.
Well, not for
That
me, Crab Rave. I can play all
Let's
the games I
go.
want,
Let's
which
go.
is like
These
half
are
the
just
reason
the
I'm
10
buying
that
it.
are confirmed not to work, though. There could be a few more, but I don't think it's going to be any of their big ones that most people care about. It's
Yeah.
going to be, though this list doesn't really tell us what else would be on that list since there's no commonality between the. So we'll see.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, Cameron. What else did you get? Did you get just the dodo bag, or?
Cooper!
Get off the Nintendo rewards page.
We're in a podcast. These people don't care about what reward you want.
Stickers.
If anybody
Dude.
wants to prove me wrong, please tell us.
I am cringing at the embarrassment that the listener is going to experience right now. Oh
Sorry.
my god.
It's cool stuff.
Alright, we're done talking about that topic.
If you haven't already,
I
go
did-
check it out.
Cooper, we are way past that.
If you figure out the leaf bandana, please let Cooper know. Oh my
But
god.
not
I'm
when we're
sorry.
recording the podcast.
All right, let's continue.
So yeah, very small list. I'm super happy to see that because there's a ton of PS4 games that I want to go back and play on my PS5. So I'm also really excited to see what that boost mode is they've been talking about on some games.
So I actually when I was playing with settings earlier today because I wanted to turn on YouTube on my PS4, but I forgot I turned off something so that we could record with it. So I had to go find that, but I found under that setting another setting to boost older PS4 games on the Pro, so I turned that on. So I'll probably
You
play
have to
something
turn that
soon.
on. Why just not automatically
Yeah,
have that on?
I had
Why
to
is it on the
Well,
default?
because it says if the game starts acting weird, you should turn it off.
Mm.
But for some reason it was off, even though it claimed the default was on, so I couldn't figure it out. Because I don't remember turning it off.
Well, I hope. I mean, I'm not expecting much out of it. My expectations were low, so really anything is interesting now. But now that I've gone ahead and gotten the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have a copy of. I just have a sealed copy of Spider-Man Game of the Year version. I have next to no reason for it, unless I want to experience the original versus the remaster, which I doubt I'm gonna do in the next decade, honestly.
There wouldn't be I couldn't see enough reasons to do that, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe one day, but that day is a far long away from today. So yeah, that's a short list of the games that not compatible. I'm sorry for all you Joe's Diner fans out there. Have your hearts broken. I guess you just have to keep your PS4. Can't sell it off. Well, all right. So Super Nintendo World, the big talk of a new Universal Studios attraction, and Universal Studios Japan is now slated to open in early 2021, which is exciting. I am super jealous that I am a poor man and can't go over there to experience it because all the photos that have been around online look so cool.
One day it will open close to us, though.
Orlando,
and
please.
the days soonish, like probably 2024.
Let's
so
go.
If we're all money-making boys by then, hopefully.
Not me.
Not you. You'll be in college, but the other three of us should be. We should go.
Without me?
Specifically
Yes,
without
Chad,
you.
yes. Chad, yes.
I just want my bandana.
No, we'll see what the Red
yeah, I would.
gonna have.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally down. If it ends up coming to like Orlando, I'm so down.
No, we know it's coming to Orlando. It's
Oh,
just
do
we
we?
don't know when the date will be.
Okay.
Yo. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, they're
okay, yeah,
working
I'm
on.
down. Count me in.
They're working.
For
We're
real.
getting 2 here in America. One in Orlando, and then one over in.
California, I assume.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
California.
Well, yeah. I am excited to see what all is in store in that park. Like, there's so many opportunities. Like, you really don't know what's gonna be there, but I mean,
Yeah.
the child in me is just like frothing at the mouth, wanting to go. That just sounds like so much fun.
See, I'm like, if I was gonna go to Japan, it definitely wouldn't be for. As cool as it would be to go to Nintendo World over there earlier than we're gonna get it. I think there's a lot more I'd want to do in Japan before go to amusement park. We're gonna get eventually, anyways.
Yeah, I've thought a lot about Japan trips, um, and it even looked at it as a possible like honeymoon spot. The problem is if I'm going to Japan, it's going to be half like I want to see all the cool parks and like historic buildings they have there because it's just fascinating to me. I also want to see a lot of the parks like because they have parks in like the middle of downtown. Like in the middle of
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge city, they have just a beautiful park with like a bunch of wildlife and stuff. I have to experience that.
Especially if you went in it's got to be April, I think, with the
The cherry trees.
cherry blossom.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That and video game hunting.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be a big thing. And plus the nightlife. Okay, so apparently public drinking is totally cool over there. So I just one of the days, like in the middle of the day, like 1 o'clock, go to a convenience store, buy some cheap sake, and just go to the park and get drunk in the middle of the day in front of people, and that's totally fine. Like not act obnoxious, obviously, but like that's just such a no over here, and I want to experience that.
Kind of interesting because Japan's kind of.
Well,
No, yeah.
they're
I was gonna say
you go ahead.
they're like big on respect and stuff, but I guess I could see as long as you're not like annoying people with it.
Well, yeah, it's like saving face. Like you're not gonna act a fool. Like you don't want to make yourself look stupid. But like getting drunk and having a good time and not just acting crazy, you know. Because you're right, they are very much about like your like the way you present yourself and things like that. So I wouldn't go around screaming and like causing misdemeanor damage and things like nothing like that. Just
drink in public, not get
not get
wasted in public.
Yeah, no, save that for the bars. I want to go to like the arcade bars and stuff. I want to
as
experience
long as they still open after COVID.
Yeah, and I want to experience like the restaurants where they have like I can't think of the name, like a treadmill but it's long. God, the thing that brings food to you. You like it's a little
Conveyor belt?
There we go. Thank you. Conveyor belt where you can like order and it like shoots it down to you. I saw one video where these people went to this one restaurant. It brings the food down to you, and then you put your plate in this little dispenser hole in your table to return it to the kitchen. And every plate you put in gets you like abilities to play this game, like a wheel spin. And you can spin the wheel to either win like more food or like a little prize or something. I just think that's just so cool. I really want to try that. Just to get some stupid little prize out of it as like a thing. Like, hey, this is what I did. But yeah, I would much rather do Super Nintendo World here because that way it would actually be in English. I wouldn't have to try to worry about that.
I feel like if I ever went anywhere, but especially Japan, like out of country, it would be like one of those things where it would be kind of loose, but it'd be like, okay, we're gonna try to do this around this time. Like you don't schedule a bunch of reservations because then you're locked in.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
Yeah.
reservations either. I wanna go to like Super Potato. That's a pretty cool store chain over there. I want to see. There's a bunch of like local retro shops and stuff with all sorts of stuff. And just I'd like to just like walk around through the city, like go through the streets, get some street food. Experience like the day to day life of people. Like what's it like living in the city in Japan? The convenience stores, I want to hit up a ton of those because they're crazy. They have so much stuff, and they're everywhere. It's like having gas station convenience stores without the gas station, but they sell more stuff than typical gas station stuff. They sell like a ton of like good food. Actually, like you can go and get like like a delicious breakfast from a convenience store for pretty cheap, and all this other like teas and snacks and cool things there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So one last thing, I know that's over there, but I know, and I think you will agree that I couldn't do it, is Japan has these capsule hotels, which is basically just like
Oh yeah. Like
a small little bed.
yeah,
it's
like a
like-
little tube thing you get to lay in. It's got a tiny TV and a tiny fan and a little
Yeah,
light.
I don't think I could survive doing that though.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
do. I wouldn't mind doing that for like a night, like just
Yeah.
to try it, and because I
Yeah,
knew I
but-
probably wouldn't like it, but just to see, just a night.
I'm not saying
Just to
like
get
it. I'm just saying like I'm pretty sure I would just start freaking out if you tried to put me in
Well,
one of
you don't
those.
close the door; it's open. You can close it if you like, but you don't
Hmm.
have to. I mean, you're not trapped in there. It's not like they lock you in. It's like, hey, you can't leave this tube until 6 a.m. Like, hope you don't piss
Oh,
yourself.
Well,
Oh no!
time to die.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy staying there for a long time either, but I would like to give it a shot because it's just so different.
You could go to the thing that Nintendo used to do. Love hotels.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
go to
can't
the
believe
Love
you
Hotel
just-
with all my homies.
I can't believe you just suggested that.
Hey yo, what's your type?
First.
All right. So, moving on. Nintendo Treehouse past week. Ton of gameplay of the new Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, and Pikmin 3 Deluxe, showing off a
Yes.
ton of stuff there. Also looked so cool. I wasn't able to watch it live because of work, but I did watch some highlights. I watched a lot of the Pikmin 3 stuff after, and I've been battling in my mind about getting it. I've decided I'm not going to because I should. I went through the same BS with Paper Mario and I ended up getting it, so I'm going to beat Paper Mario and then I might get it later. But I already have Pikmin 3 on the Wii U, and there's not a lot of stuff personally that appeals to me. Like, there's a ton of new stuff in it, which we will discuss momentarily. But
It's like the biggest version of a Wii U game brought over to the Switch. The like newest version. I have an idea what I'm trying to say, but I can't get.
don't
'cause,
hurt
like,
yourself.
They brought over Tropical Freeze, and all they did was add Funky Kong, and they brought over Mario
Mario
Kart
Deluxe.
8 Deluxe, but it's
Just-
pretty well done. It's like probably the next one, but it's more because they
Yeah.
combined everything.
Yeah, I don't.
The DLC.
As much as people will be like, Deluxe counts because it includes all the DLC. It really doesn't. Deluxe having all the DLC is stuff I played in 2015 with the addition.
No, you
of-
didn't. It didn't come out.
Yes, it did. No wait,
Yeah, it came
Yeah.
out in 2015, but the
No.
DLC didn't.
the DLC came out in 2015 because the game came out in 2014. Yes? No?
That sounds wrong,
My computer started.
but I could easily be wrong. Well, there was one more on the top of my head.
It came
that
out in
was-
May 29th, 2014, which is roughly a year from when Splatoon released.
Mario Kart owners can purchase Pet 2 for whatever. Today, April 23rd, 2015.
See,
Okay. For some
Yeah,
reason
we've
I
been
put it
playing-
in 2016.
we've been playing those for 5 years.
Long time.
I want to just
You can have new Mario Kart. It will just cost you $200 to play with friends.
I can't
And
afford one.
a hardwood flooring, like at Grant's parents' house.
Well, anyway, anyway, um, so for the Hardware Warriors stuff, young Robbie and young Pura, how do you say that? Pura?
I can look up the name, but I can't remember.
Pura. Anyway, they were
She's
shown off.
Impa's older sister.
Okay.
I want to say older, and then she like de-ages herself during like before you wake up. Like she's supposed to be as old as Impa is.
Huh. Well, they were. Are they shown off as playable? What are they shown off? Like it says shown off.
They're just we just saw like younger versions of them in the models, like, but not. We haven't seen if they're playable or not. But
Okay.
Hyrule
They're
Warriors,
in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so yeah, so there's also gameplay shown off for Urbosa, Link, and Impa. Urbosa playable. That's super sick.
Yeah, all the champions will be playable.
Yeah, Zelda's gameplay was shown off on Twitter. You can dress up Link however you like, including it includes some outfits from Breath of the Wild. It also has the same map as Breath of the Wild and uses the same UI as Breath of the Wild. And if you played Breath of the Wild, you'll know that you can buy back your house.
No, you buy a house
Or
in
you
Breath
buy
of
a
the
house.
Wild, but they showed it off in the trailer that Link's living in a house, and the house is the same one, which means he bought it back from the guy.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you can buy back
Your house.
your own house.
Right. So Link
Awesome.
should go yell at that man.
Yeah. So I mean, really, like, I am so excited for this. This is like, the first one was big because it was like the first one. Like, you can finally take Zelda characters and just do what everybody's always wanted to do, which is beat the crap out of Zelda enemies as all your favorite heroes. And now it's like that, but Breath of the Wild. So it's not just generic Zelda, it like ties in to everything. So it's more than just the, beat 'em up Zelda tactical thing. It's
Hyrule Warriors did tie in. You go to the three. Well, in the original version, you went to 3 different times. You went to Skyward Swords, Ocarinas, and Twilight Princess, and then as they added DLC and they released Legends, you also had Wind Waker join in, and it just kept expanding like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying it didn't tie in. Like, it was just all Zelda stuff, but now this one's like super Breath of the Wild heavy, which that's probably why I'm so excited for it, because Breath of the Wild was just so good.
The only game connected to Breath of the Wild on the timeline is its prequel and sequel.
Yeah. So I am super excited for that. It's November 4th, right?
I believe. Hold on.
I think it's November 4th. It's either the 4th or the 22nd. I don't know how I'm coming up with either of those, because one of those is wrong, but they're both very specific dates. So I'm really not sure how I'm pulling that out.
Okay, November 20th.
I was wrong on both of them. Where did I get either of those dates, man?
Where did you get the 4th? Games don't release on a Wednesday.
I wasn't looking to see if it was a Wednesday, Cameron. But
when
yeah, okay. So apparently, just don't listen to me, because I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So the 20th, the 20th. So still quite a little over a month away.
We'll probably see all the champions gameplay before then.
Yeah.
I know they've hinted at another character, but I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ganon, and during that story you kill all the champions. It'd be like the perfect way to tie into Breath of the Wild.
I would love that, because I would be playing the game and I would be breaking my own heart by doing it. That sounds amazing.
And it's not like playing Ganon would be anything new to the Hyrule Warrior games.
Yeah. So that's all the stuff shown off for Hyrule Warriors. Obviously, since it's still over a month away, I'm sure we'll see more stuff about that. So be sure to keep track of this podcast because we'll be talking about it all here. Shameless promotion in our own show.
Let's
All
go.
right. All
A
right.
week after everybody else has talked about it.
Oh, well, Pikmin 3 Deluxe
Hey, no,
was
it's
also...
only a weekend after.
True.
Apparently, I don't know how to say it, but Parrot's name is derived from prune.
Prune.
Pariah.
Like that, yeah.
Okay, so
Like that
Impa,
thing.
Pariah, and Robbie.
Is it Pariah? There's no I there. Is it Pariah?
Just Purra.
Purra?
Right? Like,
Purra? Hold on.
P-U.
R-A-H.
Yeah. The short girl?
Yeah, short girl,
Yeah.
but she's not short anymore. I don't know how to.
Yeah, now she does like the rock star pose.
Well,
True. Nintendo posted her doing the hand thing, and they used an emoji on Twitter when they did.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe was also showed off. There is a new difficulty called Ultra Spicy. Ultra Spicy.
Actually, I think both are new difficulties. It's got because I
Yeah,
don't remember the original having difficulties.
I couldn't remember when I wrote this list, but I'm pretty sure Pikmin 3 only has the original. But is there a way to make it easier? Because a lot of the, not like a difficulty thing, but a lot of the Wii U games had like, oh, here's this item that will make the game.
Broken.
Yeah. And I couldn't remember if Pikmin 3 had that already, which would be similar to an easy mode anyways.
I don't remember. I just know I'm really happy to be talking about Pikmin 3 because I was dealing with changing some passwords. Because apparently some of my old passwords are just sitting around in
Chrome.
no, well, yes, but data breaches on various sites. My RuneScape account got hacked, dude. Not only I got banned,
Oh,
they
shit.
got me banned.
Yeah, that happened to my account as well. I had to email Jagex, and they're like, "We'll review it," and they ended up giving me my account back because
You should
It
probably
was
do
pretty
that, Cameron,
obvious.
but that sucks since you had so much.
Well, I mean,
Um,
even if you lose the account, you don't play RuneScape.
Yeah.
And like, if
It's
you
more
do,
about
just start a new account on
password.
old school. Like, it's about it's not like we really caught up about it anymore. Anyway, so yeah, ultra spicy difficulty is a super hard difficulty mode where you can only have a maximum of 60 Pikmin on the field at any one time.
Which is going to be interesting because part of getting to 100 is that freedom to not have to go pluck them anymore. So that speeds up the process there. But once you have all 30 captains unlocked for that playthrough, you're going to be managing
Yeah,
20 Pikmin with each captain.
your pipelining ability is going to be severely choked.
Like,
Ooh.
even if you're playing with a friend, which it actually plays really fluidly to play co-op. But even if you're playing with a friend, it's still, 30 Pikmin. Like, you might be able to beat some bosses with that many.
you could probably beat the one
Mod
that you just need the rock Pikmin for.
Yeah, the mod ad only needs
Yeah.
like 30 because that's what I did. But it severely limits you. I'm going to be really interested to see how a playthrough goes with that because I'm definitely doing it.
I have yet to try out the co-op, but I really do need to do that. So
Yes,
speaking
it
of,
is-
there's now a co-op mode for the main story, and there is also a new alternate story mode. And there's obviously new controls. So for the 2 people in the world that owned a Wii U, To
So it
play
was-
Pikmin 3 on the Wii U, you had
Wait.
to use the touchpad.
No, you didn't
There's
have
at least
to.
3
You had the
people.
option to.
There was us, as in me, Cameron, and Cooper, and then there was you, and then there was Gerard the completionist.
Okay,
Yay!
for like the 20 people that bought a Wii U, I'm just gonna kind of future-proof myself from you. The default control scheme was to hold the gamepad with one hand and then use the touchpad with the other hand to control your Pikmin and move around and stuff. So they've
I
reworked
don't
it
think
now.
I ever played with that one.
That's what I was using when I was playing through it. It's not bad, honestly.
It's not. None of them are bad. The other options are, I think you can use a Pro controller,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
and you can do Wiimote and Nunchuck.
Because they had to include the Pro controller as an option so that you could do versus
Yes.
Olmar versus Alf.
No, wasn't it? I don't think Olimar was playable at all. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure it was.
in Battle
Was it?
Bingo and in the little mode where you could use all 7 Pikmin colors.
That doesn't make sense.
It
That's
was Olimar and Alf as the 2 captains because they're the main characters.
I will have to check that. 'Cause that doesn't sound right.
Have you seen these charts? Let's take a look at these charts.
He's gonna look it up and go, "Oh, wow, Alex is right."
Anyway, so now the
that's
control scheme is being reworked a little bit. Obviously, dual stick. There's a new lock-on thing where you can like lock on to specific
That was
targets.
in there already.
Well, now it's prominent. They've made a big deal about it, like it wasn't before, and it's very useful. Makes things a lot easier. There's an achievement system. There's a new encyclopedia for
new.
Pikmin.
That is new. The Piklopedia is previously only in Pikmin 2, and Pikmin 2's re
So-
release.
There's this in the
I'm-
game, Cameron. It was already there. There's this in the game. It was already there.
No.
only
The
there.
Piklopedia is only in Pikmin 2. They took it out from Pikmin
Yeah,
3.
yeah. It's already
Yeah,
there.
it's already
So
there.
I'm confused. Is it a new story or is it just the old cutscenes that they had that you had to unlock
For
a
the
website?
the side mission,
Yeah.
I don't think they've said. If they've said, I don't know.
I didn't,
That being
I've-
said,
because the Pikmin one I just kind of skipped around since it was so long. So if they answered it there, I don't know.
I didn't watch the Treehouse.
I didn't either.
I didn't have time.
I think that's cool.
Well,
You
There's-
are right that they did do that.
there is a demo available right now. The game released at the end of the month, so you have a little time.
And if you play it and beat the first boss, you unlock Ultra Spicy mode for when the full game comes out. And I'm not sure if it requires beating the first boss or if it requires beating the first mission that you can go do in the demo. But you can unlock extra missions at the start of the game. But I do think the side story is locked to finding Louis in the main game. Well, it might be finding Olimar. I don't.
Dang,
I
you
have
just
no clue.
stepped all over Grant's lines.
Yeah, for real.
Well, no, this is Cameron's shtick. I don't know much about Pikmin as he does.
I was just making a joke because you were about to read it off of the podcast script, and Cameron's like, "No, stop! I've
Well-
got this."
Well, Cameron mentioned earlier that he was very excited to talk about it, so I was like, you know what, let's let
I
Cameron
am-
take the reins on this.
Dude,
Which I entrust him to
I'm-
do.
I'm excited. I like. Unlike the Wii U version, I have my Switch right at my desk. I can play it whenever I want, which means I can just play through the whole game, 100% it.
Say it with me
Play-
now. On the toilet.
Was
At my
the
desk.
On the toilet.
No, my desk is not at the toilet.
It should be. What are you doing? Okay.
porta potty?
Yeah, when he says anywhere he wants, he means on the toilet. Just like the rest
No,
of us
at
do.
my desk.
On the
But
toilet.
on his bed.
All right.
Um,
So, yeah, that's coming out at the end of the month. I won't
In
be
the
getting
car.
it at launch because I've got other priorities with
I
my
don't.
limited game money, but
I should. I really, really should. but I
PS5
don't.
that cost you
I
a
need
lot
to
of
get-
money.
well,
I
hey,
need to
that's finally
pre-order,
paid off now.
I should use some of my birthday money for
I
Spider-Man.
mean, I didn't say it wasn't. It's just that's your main priority. With
Yeah. Well,
where
I
all
would
your-
have gotten it if my dog's medicine didn't cost like $200. So,
Dude,
Owning a
responsibility
pet's an
sucks.
expensive thing.
yes, especially a pet with
Yes, but
heartworms.
But they act as good guard dogs. And
Sid
that's
would
what's
not guard anything. He would just immediately run up and be like, "Oh, a new person, pet me, please."
You think that, but dogs are pretty good about reading how their owner feels about the situation.
True.
But
Also, my
Sid's
dog is old and
Sid is
lethargic.
old.
So,
I don't know. Lily was old and ready to pounce on
Lily
anybody.
Mailman.
Yeah, for real.
so yeah. If you like Pikmin, definitely should get this. It's
At least try. And if you haven't, definitely try out the demo.
yeah. At least try the demo. Pikmin is such a good franchise. Pikmin 3 is my favorite game in the series. It's so cute and fun to explore and find all the stuff. I love the fruit that you find. That's just, I don't know why that encapsulates me like it does, but something as simple as finding fruit, I love it. All the little stuff you find, and the art style is so good, and the fruit, I love the fruit being hyper realistic. Like some things are hyper realistic
It's
in
all
the game.
hyper realistic, like the whole terrain, because it's
Yeah,
like, you know,
like out of, and it feels
post-Earth.
out of place
So cool.
almost. And the puzzles are good. You know, it's, if you like strategy, definitely try it out. At least the demo.
It is super
It's-
management oriented.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy game. It's pretty stressful though.
Well, it depends on.
Well, like
The first two
Pikmin-
are a lot more stressful, but three's
Well,
like
I
a little
don't.
bit better.
I want
than
to agree
that.
with that. One is stressful because you actually do have a time limit, but 2 and 3, you can. Well, 3 is more of a time limit than 2, and 2, you're unlimited. But in 3, you're
True,
limited by
but
the amount of fruit that you are able
Two,
to
you
collect.
also have more bosses, like the Water Wraith. Everybody's favorite boss in Pikmin.
Saint Dweeble.
But yeah, it's especially, and if you like resource management too, that's definitely another reason to try this game out. Really,
There
it's
are-
just a good game. Try the demo; you'll like it. I'm sure you will. We are all sure you will. Confident in that. So, be sure to keep up with the podcast. Shameless plug number 2 on the show, because Cameron is sure to be talking about it when it comes out.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't really do a good job of explaining this, but in the options, there are multiple settings. You personally, I like the way that the Wii version of Pikmin 1 and 2 did, where I can kind of scroll over the entire screen and call Pikmin to me, and that's available if you turn on gyro controls. They're not on by default.
There's gyro controls. I didn't even.
Yeah,
That's cool. I'm glad that's there.
It's not even seen, but it's like that's my preferred way because I hate. But while it's manageable, I hate having to be like, oh, that Pikmin's just out of reach. You know.
Yeah, it's hard to be flexible on the toilet.
Literally.
I'm not playing Pikmin on the toilet.
Then what are you doing with your life, bro?
Yeah, bro.
You know, I don't think
Not
you're listening.
playing Pikmin on the
Might
toilet.
have spent Animal Crossing on the toilet. I spent all those hours.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, that was Nintendo Treehouse. It's all on YouTube and stuff. If you haven't checked it out yet and didn't know it was a thing for whatever reason, it's all on Nintendo's YouTube channel. So give it a watch. Lots of cool stuff shown off there. So moving on, we are in the creepy corner. We're keeping with the alliterations. We spent, I'm not lying, we spent like 15 minutes before the show trying to find an alliteration that would work just for you guys. Creepy corner.
I was in the toilet.
So
We hope you like our alliterations, because if not, why are we spending so much time trying to be like, okay, what works for?
yeah. So creepy corner. It's October, spook time, scary time. We're gonna do some horror game recommendations for you guys to play during the month of October. Just kind of some stuff we all had input on. Starting Resident Evil 7. This was my demand to be in here because I've been talking about it the past couple weeks. Is what I've been playing. I'm still playing it, getting further in it. It is truly frightening and freaky and disgusting, and I love it. And
Where are you now?
I am. So I got the arm.
Okay.
I'm trying to like. I don't want to spoil it too much if people haven't played it, but I got the arm, and then the brother called me and was like, "Hey, heard you guys were trying to plan a little something something. You got to come find me." And then I had to go find the deputy and do the thing, which I'm not going to talk about. And now I have to find some key cards to go to the next place, and I'm totally lost. That's where I stopped playing, so I've got to look.
Okay.
But,
I can see why you're lost at the key cards.
Yeah, but dealing with all the bugs and like getting the flamethrower and the wife turning into like that creepy, that super frightening thing, that was terrifying. And I'm just encapsulated. It's so scary.
So,
They're so
after
good at
you
it.
beat 7, are you gonna get the hold on, let me check, make sure I've got this name right.
Get what, the DLC?
Yeah, the Chris DLC.
Probably not. I'm probably gonna move on to the RE2 remake. I got that for cheap at GameStop recently to move on to once I beat RE7. And of course, like right after I bought RE7 on disc, it got put on Game Pass.
I see.
So now I just have the disc. I don't even have to put the disc in because it's on Game Pass. I installed it off the disc and now it's on Game Pass. So, but
One
yeah,
of the DLC campaigns continues something from the story, though.
well,
But I don't want
if
to
I'm
talk
not
about
curious,
exact.
if I'm not curious, then I will. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when I get there. Next, Dead by Daylight. This is a crowd favorite in our group here. We've played it a lot together. It is, even though we've had situations where it's like everybody is playing a character, we all know who is who. It's still just so frightening. If you don't know about Dead by Daylight, it's essentially a 5-player game where there are 4 survivors and a hunter. The goal of the game, if you're the hunter, is to kill as many of the survivors as you can. You're in a small map. If you're a survivor, your goal is to start generators around the map that allow you to open the exit doors. There's also a couple other paths to win alternatively, but we won't delve into that. If you start to play it, you'll learn about it. So even though
And
we've
they've
had
changed it
situations,
since the last time any of us have played it.
yeah. So even if you have a group of 5 people, so you know one of y'all is the hunter and all that stuff, it's still just so terrifying if you're a survivor being hunted like that, because noise is really prominent. The hunter can hear things and see things better than you can. It's hard for you to outrun the hunter, basically. If you make any mistake, it makes a bunch of loud noise to give away your position. Very tense, very scary. Can't recommend it enough. Super. I mean, if you're looking for like jump scares, especially, that's good for some jump scares.
Absolutely.
And multiplayer. Playing with friends is super fun because being scared together is more fun than being scared alone. Until Dawn. This was Alex's recommendation. I actually haven't played it. Why don't you take the reins on this?
Okay, so it's a game about 5 years old, and it's a horror survival drama game where you play. So it begins like it has its prequel thing, and then you jump into the future, and you have 8 characters that you are in charge of, and it will follow them through chapters. But your goal is to survive. You start late at ish in the day, and you need to survive, get them all through this hectic scenario of all this random stuff happening at the top of this like private mountain. And your goal is to keep all 8 of them alive till the dawn of the next day. And
Okay.
I liked it so much because of like the mystery and the horror stuff related to it that it got me to buy their next game, made by the company, but I didn't actually like that one as much.
Until Dawn's pretty old, right? Like not like
Yeah,
super old, but like it's a couple years old.
It's a 2015 game.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, 5 years. Okay, so
Almost
sure,
the
I'll
beginning
definitely
of
try
the
to find
cycle.
that used. I'm sure it's cheap now.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll give that a shot. I've seen a lot around everywhere, but it just I don't know. I never put in the effort into looking into it, but after your pitch about it, now that I actually know what it is, that's interesting. I'll definitely have to look at
Not a
it.
long game either. I think it's like 10-ish hours.
Okay, that sounds fun. Yeah, for sure.
But one more thing, the more like clues you find, it's which I made me really like this. When all the characters will like meet up, they'll discuss like what they personally found as you played them. So the more clues you found as that character, the more they'll have to discuss at that time.
That's cool. I like that.
All right, we can go to the
So
next.
this was Cooper's throw in. Simulacra is it PC only?
Let me check real quick.
Well, anyway, it's a horror game where you basically have control of a random girl's phone, and it's got a lot of like I assume it's got a lot of drama in it and things of
Oh,
that
yeah,
nature. So
absolutely.
you're going through her phone, like all these files, and finding out all these terrible things. It's like one of those modern horror stories. It deals a lot with like social media and things of that nature. Very highly rated on Steam, and I have not played it. I do not know much about it, but
Not a bad way to put it, though. A modern horror game.
yeah, it's what was that movie that came out about like
There
like
was
this like
the
they're like all in the video
Facebook
chat.
one.
There was one where like all video
Uh,
chatting on Skype.
Unfriended.
Unfriended, yeah, like that kind of modern horror, where like social media and like the age of the internet and dealing with that kind of drama, but also like when it turns frightening, which is a great concept. I love that kind of stuff because social media can be super freaky in that kind of light.
Sometimes you just need to play a modern horror game like that, though.
Yeah, I mean, it helps kind of keep you in check about like keeping your mind straight about like you know even though a lot of this is obviously would not happen because it's otherworldly and fake.
But
it's a game, but you see the truth behind all the the makeup in the game. There's a lot of
Right.
things you can learn from it and stuff to keep in
oh,
mind about
wow.
social media. So
okay, so it's
Yeah,
come out on
Wow.
or
I think it came out on Switch
Microsoft.
recently,
Yeah,
right?
it's on Steam, Windows, and PS4.
And I
Okay.
just checked because it
But
said
the company behind it's made 4-ish games.
Yeah.
They've made 3, definitely 4, depending on how you count one of them.
the first one is on the Switch.
Okay, I thought
okay.
I had seen one of their games go to Switch. I wasn't sure if it was that one or not. But yeah, no, it's staying on that topic just a little bit. The internet, especially with how many passwords can just be easily hacked if you're not keeping an eye on, your thousands of accounts, since everything requires an account to use nowadays.
Well, I don't have.
Ooh.
It is like those modern horror games that focus on not, well, more technology being bad, I guess, but it's it's something to keep in mind.
Not
Like
that
bullying or
technology
using
is
it.
inherently bad, but it can be
No,
used
So,
very
like
badly. I
people
get
can
that. Yeah.
definitely use it to be bad. Yes.
I've got 2 comments on that. The passwords being hacked so easily is why I've got mine saved on Chrome, but not my Google account connected. Like my Chrome stuff isn't saved; it's just exclusively locked to my laptop.
Okay.
But I have it with Chrome, so I can click the check password button to see if any have been compromised.
Yeah, I'm really glad that feature's there.
Yeah,
Not all like bigger passwords to like more important things aren't on there, but like basic password. Not
Speaking of,
basic-ish,
Alex,
but
two of your
most of my
accounts
passwords are.
said they were compromised on my computer.
What?
2 of your passwords showed up as compromised when I was checking mine earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
sent-
that message too recently. That's actually frightening. That's like real
What
life frightening.
accounts? I'll fix.
I sent you a message with the
Yeah,
screenshots of them.
maybe don't say that live on on the show.
Obviously not, but I just want.
But it's like
But the other idea is the horror like that is why Black Mirror got so big.
Oh, dude, I love Black Mirror. I've never been so.
You want to
I
be
don't even- I
creeped
don't
out,
even
you
know
just
the
watch
word.
that.
I don't think I've
This
seen
account
any
is
of that.
best.
But that's more of a modern Twilight Zone, right? But
So
scarier.
It's well, imagine if Twilight Zone was like
looked at the dark recesses
Yeah,
of
like
what it's either
true-
what's actually happening now, but a little pushed extreme, or like what could happen if we continue down certain paths that we're currently on.
Yeah, it is
Twilight Zone meets. Yeah,
I wanna
true
Twilight
call
Zone
it
that is
Twilight
based
Zone,
in
the
like future paths of reality.
it's the
instead of
best
being-
representation of psychological horror that I have ever experienced. I haven't watched all of the episodes because it's mentally taxing to watch. It really is. It's hard to watch because, like Alex said, like it's a possibility, and that's what makes it so scary. The one with like the museum where the guy was like showing off all these like used tech things to this girl, like all of that stuff is just so, the idea alone is just so messed up. And Twilight Zone looks like child's play compared to this, because Twilight Zone sometimes it had scary like ideas and situations, but a lot of the times it was just kind of like, ooh, scary stories told at a campfire kind of thing. And I'm not knocking Twilight Zone, because Twilight Zone is amazing. I very much like that show.
But
But it's
if you
definitely
compare,
old.
like, say, we went back in time because we flew too high in the air and now we're at the 1930s fair, to, hey, technology has repercussions.
Like, okay, so what comes to
Things
mind
are
for me for Twilight Zone? There's an episode where like an old woman who's a widow, there's a storm, a telephone line gets knocked down, the line lands at her husband's grave, and the husband is able to call her in the middle of the night, even though he's dead. Like that's spooky, right? It's kind of freaky.
Spooky,
But Black
yes.
Mirror goes like, hey, imagine if your terminally ill wife and her conscience got implanted into your mind so that she could watch everything you were doing and that you could communicate in your own head. But then that means she would have to watch everything you're doing, including moving on and getting a new partner.
Oh.
And she can't die. So,
Oh, yeah.
well, so you either have to decide with a doctor while she's watching. She sees everything. So you have to either tell the doctor, I want her dead and out of my mind. Or what they did in the show, spoiler warning, mute for a quick second. They put her in a teddy bear. So they gave the teddy bear to the child so the mom could still see the kid and all the stuff the kid does. You know, it's like a kid's toy, but doesn't have to see all the stuff that the dad is doing, because she can always nag at him and like yell at him and cause emotional distress. So she got implanted in this teddy bear, and then the teddy bear sits in the museum, which is in that episode, and she's still in there for eternity because it's her conscience. She's basically just watching out the eyes, which is like, so yeah, like not to get like all of a sudden super sad and distraught, but that's the two differences. It's so frightening because that's possible. I mean, if we figure out how to capture
And it's
consciousness.
not like people haven't thought of things like that before. Not see, Alex. Who's the little scientist in Captain America?
Zola.
Zola. Yeah, because they did something similar in Winter Soldier for him. So it's not like that's the first time someone's thought of that. We could very well be working on tech like that, and that's
scary.
you know,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
like,
So I was gonna comment real fast. The one that comes to me for Twilight Zone is just because we saw it when we were pretty little, so it's just stuck with me for a long time. Was the little girl? There was a little girl, and she would.
you're bringing that one up.
Yeah, if she said goodbye to people, they would like die within like the next scene.
That's freaky.
Right.
She like at the beginning of the episode, she hugged a friend goodbye.
No,
and
so at the beginning, it's her mom.
It's an icy day, right?
It's her mom at the beginning. So like their oven's like broken. So
Whoa.
it does. So the light that's supposed to tell you that it's gas isn't working, and the girl tells her bye. So her mom dies, and then her friend dies because her scarf gets like
caught on the door while she's leaving. Like she trips on ice or something. Her scarf gets caught on the door, and
Choked her.
I don't think choked or broke her head. I don't. They didn't show how she died. They just implied that she died.
That's
by
freaky.
having her scarf caught on the door, and then at the end, was it her sister?
Her sister's like scared of her, so she's gonna take her to the lake and drown her because she's filled the
and
inflatable tube with rocks.
I don't remember
so the girl
how
sees it in her mirror of her drowning and says goodbye to herself.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember how she saw the other ones, but that's basically like the whole idea of it. Like that's one of the creepier ones I can think of for Twilight Zone. Most of them aren't,
Most of them are just like
level of creepy from reality.
But that one's kind of like up there with like actual horror.
Yeah, it's when there's like for me it's when there's truth in it. Like there's a Twilight Zone episode where so like it's the 50s or it's the 50s or 60s or something, Cold War, full flames, and obviously the nuclear threat is huge, and there's a false alarm nuclear warning. So a big like a family and a bunch of like neighborhood friends are over having a party, chilling, having a good time. Then like they're all sitting around the TV, and all of a sudden the nuclear warning comes on, like, hey, there's going to be a bomb in like 15 minutes. Like, you got to do whatever you can right now. Go.
So Hawaii last year.
Yeah. So all the friends leave and everything. They're all going to go. And the family that's hosting the party, they invested in a nuclear bunker in their house. So they have like a full underground, airtight, filtrated, concrete surrounded, like the whole shebang, filled with a bunch of supplies. And the neighborhood friends they didn't do anything. They never invested any of it. And they all try to come over and ask for help. And they have to turn them away because the bunker's only built for 4 people. Or like 3 people, and they already have, the family size is 3. Like, they built it for themselves. So they have to tell all their friends no, which is like basically tell them you're going to die. But it's either tell them no and they die, or tell them yes and everybody comes in and you all die, because it's not made for that. Like, you just won't survive. And then all the friends go crazy because they're like, well, well, if we can't have it, then no one can. And they like bust down the door. Like they get like some kind of thing to like ram the door and like bust it down and break it. Turns out the alarm is false, and that there's no worry. But now everybody knows what people really can be.
Yeah.
And so
Which-
that's like that one really stuck with me for real.
And then you have stuff like Japan. Well, no, that was actually about North Korea's attack on Japan with the ballistic missile that overshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the thing in Hawaii as well. Like it, that stuff is terrifying. But we don't live near any major.
Doesn't matter if we live near it. I mean, they all have the touch. Okay, you know what? Let's get
Oh.
off this topic. So
We're
psychological
a little
horror
too,
is very bad, and war is bad, and if you want to experience things like that's true psychological horror, go watch Black Mirror. It's on Netflix.
Or
Speaking of
look up, like, a
psychological
best
horrible,
episode list of
yeah, Twilight Zone.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually ties into our honorable mention here. Eternal Darkness for GameCube. It's a psychological horror game that is very good, and it's super unique in the way that it tries to scare you and messes with your sanity. There's a sanity mechanic that, for the sake of time, we won't explain to you here. And it's the only reason it's an honorable mention is because it's expensive and hard to find, and unless you have the money to get the game or a GameCube and the game or something like that, you have to go through emulating, which we are not recommending, but it's an option, blah blah blah. We're not telling you to do that. It's hard to get, so it's an honorable mention. But yeah, also very frightening.
And it's like the one Nintendo game that they published themselves that's a horror game, outside of our other honorable mention, Luigi's Mansion, the best horror game.
I was gonna say trash, but it's a good game. It's just, if you want mild spook, like ooh, ghosts are gonna
It's
get
a
you.
fun, like, early Halloween, October game, though.
That is, that is a.
And if you're a kid,
Lead
it's
into.
scarier. If I get your kid to play it, it's easy on kids. It's just like, ooh, there's ghosts in this house. You gotta get them all.
Young Resident Evil
That's
2,
true.
where you have keys to unlock doors, and you've got boss fights with ghosts instead of zombies, and
Yeah.
you're in a mansion. It's perfect.
So yeah, that was our creepy corner. That got so morbid. Holy crap! I apologize. We
Dude,
went
we-
so dark.
we-
We were sitting in
we might
silence
need
talking about
to-
like, yeah, we might all just like die one day.
We might need to put a trigger warning at the beginning of the thing. If you're scared of talking about kind of morbish and saddest things, you might just want to skip over creepy corner.
Yeah, more creepy corner, more like psychological death corner, existential dread
Psychological-
corner.
Psychological palace.
Yeah, there we go. The alliteration. Okay, let's move on. It's happy. We're not gonna try to be sad. It's spooky month, not sad month.
Though spooky games do make people sad, so
Yeah.
Okay. One last thing before we move on, though, I will say Eternal Darkness does actually kind of tie into how we were talking about Twilight Zone, because it's
Yeah, that's what I said. Like,
they're
it ties
both
in.
outdated.
It's
Yeah, they're both outdated because of what they were originally meant to be on, but they're still good.
yeah. There's psychological horror in it. So if you're a freak and you like that stuff like we do, then if you want to try to get it anyway,
then
you
you're
can.
in good company.
Yeah. So let's move on to some tidbits. So Pikmin shorts were removed from the eShop and posted on YouTube by Nintendo. So like the Pikmin short movies are no longer available to watch on the eShop, but they are on Nintendo's YouTube channel now.
And
for
they,
whatever
as
reason,
far as I'm aware, they have never been able to be posted by other users. Like, I want to say they're one of the few things that was always.
I think they eventually got posted by people. It was
Yeah.
just-
I
did they?
remember
That's-
watching them on YouTube.
It was like, I think they'd be shrunk or they'd be flipped, but Nintendo's officially posted them now. So
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you're just dying to watch some Pikmin short films, Go to YouTube.
They're all cute.
Yeah.
Yes, they were worth the $5 I spent.
Mario Kart Live comes out this Friday, 2 days after this podcast episode goes up. I hope
Have
you got
you
your
been able to
pre-orders.
pre-order it?
Yeah.
Because I haven't.
None of us are
I
getting
still-
it because we think the value is a little low on it. But
But
if you
also,
I mean, there's.
it's impossible to pre-order it.
I think it's cool that there's like 12 built-in like themes.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's like 20 something from what
Okay.
I
And
saw
like all
earlier.
the skins they're doing for it, that kind of shows what they could do for like Mario Kart 9.
It's like a super cool thing. We just all think it's a little out of our price range for something that
It's
we're
out
not
of our
gonna
price
play
range, and
as
we
much
are
as
definitely
we
not the
want
target
to.
audience for it.
Look, my $2 price range. Yeah.
But yeah, we actually, or at least I do. I think it's super cool.
I think
I
it's
think
really
these
cool.
guys
Yeah.
do as well. But you also kind of have at a disadvantage because at least from playing with them as kids, stuff that is like a motorized car has problems unless it's on like hardwood or linoleum or concrete
yeah.
where they can just run. If
Wait,
it's
my
on
thing is
carpet, then
outside.
it's
Well, yeah, because
Huh?
you can't drift on carpet.
No.
can't really drive on carpet either though.
Yeah.
The wheels just have problems.
So if you don't have it pre-ordered, be sure to show up to that store Friday early. If you
Well, I
don't have it pre-ordered.
Yeah, I don't
Has
Well,
anyone
we're
seen
I
any
don't-
pre-orders available? I saw Walmart. They were
Walmart?
first, and then Amazon had it for like 2 minutes. But I don't know where, if it's even been available anywhere else. Like,
Ugh.
it-
I haven't seen it up for pre-orders, but I don't think the stores are gonna get a lot of them either. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you want it, you don't have a pre-order, go early. So yeah, that comes out this Friday. It's exciting to see how people are going to react to it, and especially like a year after, like to see how well those cards hold up to little kids. You know, just beating the crap out of those things because you know they're
Yeah.
going to get destroyed. So we'll see
No,
how good that build quality turns out being in a year or so.
I thought this
Yeah,
was a
what do you
family-friendly
think the chances
podcast,
are-
Grant.
What do you think the chances are of one of the first YouTube videos of it being, how well can they survive falling down 15 stairs?
Drop from 500 feet. Yeah.
Someone did that with the Switch, so I
It
give
survived.
2
Only
weeks.
the Joy-Con shattered.
The right
I
voice.
think that's pretty good.
I give it about 2 weeks before we see those being destroyed a lot.
Yeah.
2 weeks
Those-
because they had to find them first.
So
Oh.
yeah. Huh?
Oh, sorry.
What?
One of the dudes I watched, literally, he's been doing a checklist: one to keep, one to smash.
Spider-Man Miles Morales has gone gold. It is being printed on discs now. That is super exciting. We are just about a month away from PlayStation 5 and a little more for Xbox, or a little less, one of the two. It's about time for the new generation. We're closing in. You know, just over 30 days. It's really heating up now. I'm super excited for that. And that's about it. It's gone gold. I mean, it's still going to be a huge day one patch like every other game. But it's happening.
Right.
We're getting close. I'm super ready. I'm so ready. Rumors claim that Level 5, a third-party developer, has essentially shut down its North American operations and has no plans to produce any more games outside of Japan. What is Level 5 known for?
Layton and Yokai Watch. So they used to be big with
Oh.
Layton, and then they
Wanted
switched to trying to push
Yokai.
Yokai Watch very hard. And they've been having business issues for a few years now. So if this rumor's true, I'm not really that surprised. I'm just a little upset because when they actually do Layton games, they're pretty good, and I really like their crossover with Capcom's Ace Attorney.
So back when I was really big on playing Pokemon, there were several people in the community that were like, I'm in Japan and Yokai Watch is everywhere. And they tried to do that here too.
Yeah,
But-
remember that.
It, didn't. And I think they've been hurting from that attempt ever since.
No, they've been making other like bad.
Well, they've been
business
making other
decisions.
bad decisions too, but like they wanted things to do as well as Yokai Watch did in Japan.
Which makes sense, but they produced a lot of games very fast. It was like Pokemon levels of production for a brand new IP.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Yokai Watch on the Switch, isn't there?
I think so. There's like a bunch. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of Yokai Watch for a series that isn't that old.
So yeah, I mean, that's a shame, I guess. Yokai
Maybe they'll
Watch
get
is
bought by one of the big two in Japan.
yeah, maybe.
Actually, we're trying to get there was that deal Target had over the summer for a bunch of Switch games were actually on it for once. So we were like, okay, we'll try to get the Catalina game, which is
Catriella.
Catriella. I don't know names. I just know she's in Layton's game,
She's his daughter.
and it was not available physically. So it's their games are hard to get physically.
Well, all right then. Persona 5 Strikers has had a release date listed as 2021 by GameWare, who is a game retailer in Australia.
Apparently the UK as well.
Okay. So that's some news there. Persona 5 Strikers will be coming relatively soon, hopefully. Bravely Default.
Oh,
the
it's
new
supposed
one.
to say Bravely Default 2.
Yeah, I was assuming that. Bravely Default 2 now will be 2021 instead of 2020. Doom Eternal has been pushed back to second quarter of 2021 instead of initially supposed to be coming out this year.
That's what GameWare is claiming on all these things.
Yeah, and they are assumingly trustworthy as they have leaked release dates for other games previously, such as Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories. So maybe I won't have any reason to doubt it. None of these games are incredibly huge.
On the note of Melody and Memories, there's a good chance we could be talking about that next week. Because we don't know when that demo is supposed to release.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
We're almost halfway through October, so...
Shameless plug number 3, be sure to check next week.
Go back and watch our other 7 videos.
Go watch our Splatoon videos of us conquering the Splatfest.
We don't talk, although I don't know if you want us to.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep us family friendly just for like an hour and a half for a podcast, so we don't even try for the Splatoon thing. So there's a reason we don't talk.
Oh no, we talk, we just don't record it.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell them that.
Oh yeah, we don't want Mike.
We sit in silence and play Splatoon together.
So
That sounds way less creepy.
I have a lot of respect for YouTubers and Twitch streamers who are streaming for hours and being family friendly the whole time.
Especially like Twitch streamers because they can't take that stuff out.
yeah, well, I mean that's how a lot of controversy come out. I mean PewDiePie did it.
That's true.
So, gets the best out of them, I guess. Persona 5 Royale has the highest platinum completion rate among all PS4 exclusives at nearly 17%. Beating out there's some other games. Concrete Genie at 13%, Ghost of Tsushima at just under at 12.9%, Neo 2 at 9.7%, Marvel Spider-Man at 8.7%. So yeah, Persona 5 has Royal at not 16.7%, so just about 17%, which is, I guess, high.
It's pretty good for a platinum rate, but it's also like an extremely easy platinum. You get like the vast majority of the trophies just from
by doing the story.
You don't
have to really go out of your way. I think the hardest thing on there is technically either
It's the special boss.
Reaper or is it the final boss of Royal? Probably that one. It's not particularly hard. Spider-Man's not
What are
particularly
you talking
hard.
about? People
either.
have to go to the May Cafe, which apparently a lot of people don't do, based on the number of people who complain that their platinum trophies picture is the May Cafe.
I wanted it to be the May Cafe, and then I went, wait, no, I just want to finish the game.
Return of Trick or Treat Splatfest is coming at the end of the month, correct?
Which, oh,
I think so.
yes,
I
that is
forgot
October.
I wrote
That is the
this.
weekend of October 30th. So it starts October 30th, ends on, I believe, the 1st. That's how the usual Splatfest run, but it's also. It's hard to judge how long they run some of these. It won't be longer than Monday at the
So,
latest.
basically just Splatoween, so Halloween and Splatoon coming back again at you, the end of the month. That's sure for there. New more Animal Crossing stuff returning. The Kyonchi hat, little devil horns, hockey mask, and anglerfish.
That's not Animal Crossing.
That's
What is
Splatoon.
Splatoon.
That's
Splatoon.
Splatoon. We
Yeah.
use the hockey mask for
Right,
multiple
like the
Splatfests.
Jason mask. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
that's
So
why it's under the.
yeah. See, I get that. Well, hey, it's the same developer. I'm close.
It
Whatever.
is.
So that'll be available via a
Same
Switch
team,
News
too.
article.
Yes, which everyone that we play with that doesn't have it should get it because it's those are arguably the hardest ones to get because they are limited time
dude, this
and
is
they get pushed back because of the other Splatoon news, which there's actually been a lot for a game that is dead.
this is such torture. So now not only do we have the Apex Legends Halloween event, but now we have the return of a Splatoween, and I have two.
technically-
And well, I'm not getting that, so that doesn't
Well, yes,
affect me.
but-
But I have 2 projects due at the end of this month, and one in like
I
the
have a
very
project
beginning of
due
November.
November 6th.
I've got one on like the 22nd. I've got one on the 4th, and I'm probably gonna have some other stuff in there because my teachers don't love to tell me anything until like a week before. So
Yes,
But that's
feel
the
that.
best part of college. It's
yeah.
like the real world. Last minute announcements. How dare you not have this done?
Oh,
Um,
At least my teachers have been better this semester, though, of not being like, here's your project, by the way, the test is also on this week.
that's why I'm not in college.
Great, thanks, teacher.
So yeah, that's coming back. If you like Splatoon, stay tuned for
And you
that.
should,
Be
like
sure
we
to play.
do.
Yeah, you should. You should. If you don't have it, you should at least get it for. I mean, the multiplayer is still active. The Splatfests aren't
Especially
as
right now.
frequent as they used to be, but
I wonder if they'll
it's,
do another. Sorry,
Say
another
what?
demo thing.
they might. Who knows?
Another
and if you-
DLC.
And if you get it in time for the
Mm.
Halloween Splatfest, that means you can partake in the Mario based Splatfest in January, and that is completely new.
Yeah.
That's not a rerun.
Which we're all super excited for.
Okay, Tetris 99, new Maximus Cup, themed after Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield expansion pass. It is from this coming Friday, October 16th, to the Monday. Basically, this coming weekend.
Yes.
I was so confused when I saw Pokemon Sword and Shield because I was like, wait a minute, they already had one.
Yes.
Yes.
Now they get 2.
So if you play the Maximus Cup and you get at least 50 points in the event, you will be able to get an in-game theme based on Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Is it
Was it only
50?
50?
Is it time? Wow.
I thought it's 100 like usual.
Oh, it does say
It's
50.
50 event points.
I guess they.
Oh wait. Hang on,
Wait.
To click.
Wait a minute. Players can only if a player received a theme from the original event, they will still experience the in-game sequence when 50 event points have been earned during this revival event. So it's the Pokemon. It's not for Crown Tundra. It's the Pokemon theme from last year,
So they're giving people another chance to get it. I think
which they just did for like 3 of them.
that makes
That's okay. I mean, that's a good way to promote the. Well, I don't know if it's a
Yes
good way
and
to
no.
promote Pokemon. There are way easier ways to reach people than Tetris 99. But
A game that you can only own if you own the.
Online.
Nintendo Switch Online, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there are easier ways.
Nah,
Um,
Nintendo and Game Freak know what they're doing.
Well, clearly, because Pokemon's still number 1.
Mm-hmm.
all right. So we're I promise we're getting to the end here. Nintendo Japan has dropped the prices of their Joy-Cons from $50 about to $40 about. That's US. It has gone down to approximately 4,114 yen, which is the base price plus tax. So now, if it were to come here, it would basically be, so instead of buying a single Joy-Con for $50, you can now buy a single Joy-Con for $40, which makes it in line with if you bought 2 for $80, now you can get 1 for $40, even though single Joy-Con are kind of hard to find and have been for a while.
I haven't seen them in years.
I feel like it's one of those Japan things, like the Wii U. It was really easy to find the 8 GB white version, and I think they had a
Dude, a lot of
32
stuff in
white.
Japan just doesn't go rare. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of their collectibles go to secondhand shops.
Which sell them at full price.
No, they sell them like $8.
Oh,
Like,
To go to Japan.
yeah,
Yeah.
we really, really do hit some of those secondhand shops up. Cause like the Sora and King Mickey statue, even though it was missing the sand, that was only like $10, right? Bucks.
I don't know. I didn't pay for it. It was a gift.
You're
Well,
not helping me here. But yeah, it's just cheap.
So it has dropped. We have no idea if it's going to come stateside or not, but it did happen in Japan, and there's also not really much of a reason to buy a single Joy-Con anyway.
Right.
Um,
Not the left one.
Yeah, true.
yeah, true, with all the drift stuff.
Like, if it's drift, then I would recommend just sending it in because I think it's still free, right?
It's still free.
It's still free, and it should be free until the life cycle is over because of the lawsuits, or until they update the design, if they ever do that. So
Speaking
yeah,
of
that's
which,
just
I'm
interesting to see.
pretty
Hopefully, it
about
does come stateside. I mean, I have no reason to buy single Joy-Con, but you know, it's nice to. It's just nice to do because who knows.
Unless they do like Fortnite single.
Speaking of, that is the Fortnite Switch was confirmed for a Japan release. So
was it?
Yes, I saw it earlier today, I think. So that means
in Japan, that doesn't mean that the Joy-Con and the
no,
dock are going to be exclusive to the bundle, though, since they got. I think they have all of them. Maybe not Dragon Quest or Diablo. It's not Diablo. It's something else. But I know that the Smash ones and Pokemon were released like separately.
And
The
Mario
Left Smash is obviously the best. Just a single line on that gray Joy-Con.
Wow.
That's right, Smash.
No.
Yes.
It's
oh my
left.
god.
Oh my god. Hang on.
Shoot, it is.
I was right.
Because I drew it in my mind and I'm like,
okay.
That doesn't make sense.
So speaking of Smash Bros.
Yeah, so final story, Steve and Alex will be dropping the day this podcast comes out, correct? Or the day before?
No.
11 hours prior to this podcast.
So if you're listening to this, Steve is out. If you don't have it downloaded, download it now.
Actually, I guess if you're listening to this part, it's been out. Steve and Alex have been out for over 12 hours.
Yeah. So
this has been a podcast.
So there's no point in telling you the time because if you're listening to it now, it's out. So
you've probably played them. We've probably played them.
Yeah, and we will be sure to discuss it next week and see just how crazy it is. So yeah, he is out now and he's available to buy. Or if you got the Fighters Pass, you should update your Game Boy because he is And it has finally happened. It's been so long that people have been asking for Steve, and he is finally upon us. He has come down from the heavens to embrace us with his beauty, his gamer beauty. And with that, we are done. I told you we were getting toward the end. This was such a long episode. There's so much stuff in it. We thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you have a great week, and we hope to see you back next week for the podcast. Is that a plug too? Please come back.
I guess
Hit us up on Twitter with suggestions you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, add us on Twitter at All Night Gamers. Night is with a K. YouTube/StormwindGames. We're there on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and an RSS feed. Every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Central Time. So we appreciate you guys so much for listening.
You're on YouTube. You're watching
I
it.
know. I sound like a YouTuber.
We
And-
could do a watch one. It would just be a lot of editing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the camera would make us extra cringe.
Not with the camera, just with
Hey,
like the
discuss
whatever
it
we're
after.
discussing.
Discuss it after.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay,
They
so-
obviously want to hear us discuss things.
Okay.
They've listened this long.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.